welcome everybody to Too Sweet Cosplay's AEW All Out 2020 prediction show. I am your boy, Nick O. What up?
Greetings, Steve-O here.
What up, everybody? Wildcard.
What's going on, everybody? EJV here.
All right, so we got quite a bit of a show here, going through 9 total matches. We're going to also feature some Too Sweet face-off analysis for each of these matches, or at least a couple of them. And before we start the video, please give it a like and subscribe to the Too Sweet Cosplay YouTube channel for some more content. Lots of new videos have been posted recently. So getting things started off, we're going in with the buy-in match. And I know Nico will have a lot to say about this, but so this is a tooth and nail match featuring Britt Baker with Rebel taking on Big Swole. This was a big storyline going on for the past couple months, but apparently it's going to be a buy-in match before the big show starts. So who would like to start this one off before we pass it to Nico at the end of the per request, mind you?
Lead it off, man.
Oh, I don't want to steal too much of Nico's thunder, so I'm going to keep my comments to a minimum. So I'll let the man say what he wants to say in a little bit. But to me, it's gonna be a good match because you got Big Swole, you got Britt Baker. Come on, 2 of the best women's wrestlers on the planet, and it is gonna be a good match between them two. Of course, I see Big Swole getting her revenge in this case because Britt Baker's had the advantage pretty much all this time, except during that handicap match where somehow Big Swole came out with the victory. But that's what I see happening. Just want to say I don't want to steal too. Like I said, I don't want to steal too much of what Nico will probably say. But to me, not on the freaking buy-in. Should be on the main show. I'm gonna leave it at that. My pick is gonna be Big Swole to win this match.
Very nice. And oh yeah, I did. I'll give my picks, but I did forget to include in Too Sweet Face Off. 80% of the vote wanted Dr. Britt Baker to win this match. Meanwhile, 20% wants Big Swole to win. But yeah, it is kind of disappointing considering that there's some other matches, which I'll get into a little more later, are on the main card that easily should have been in the buy-in show. But because this is a big storyline and it's been a captivating one, I've been enjoying the back and forth between Britt and Big Swole. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting match, the whole tooth and nail concept. I'm looking forward to them. This feud has been great. I do feel sorry for the both of them that they're going to be on a stinking pre-show, but I'm going to go with Dr. Britt Baker to win this one. I think that she's just going to get some momentum, especially since it'll be her first match for some time. But the feud might even continue. So I pick Dr. Britt Baker. How about you, Wildcard? What's your take?
So I'm kind of disappointed in the fact that it is in the pre-show because this was an actual developing storyline that was actually quite interesting, actually amusing, really. I mean, I thought the skits that they did on Dynamite was quite entertaining, and it was very amusing just to see the chemistry between Britt Baker and Big Swole. Especially the bickering going back and forth, especially with with the involvement of Reba, aka Rebel, however you want to call her. But I am intrigued by what this match is going to look like. I mean, it's going to be one of those cinematic matches with the whole tooth and nail match, whatever the hell that is. But I am disappointed that it wasn't on the main show. But who knows? Maybe it could actually be an entertaining match. We want, at least I'll give it a chance and see how it plays off because I feel like that they're going to continue on this feud. If I had to choose, though, I think I'm going to pick Britt Baker on this, Dr. Britt Baker DMD on this, just because, as much as I like Big Swole, I feel like Britt Baker is, she's got a little bit of momentum on her side that I think is going to carry over for her later on. So Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, will be my pick.
All right, Nico, the floor is yours. Go for it.
Oh boy, oh boy. This angers me to no end. And here's why this angers me to no end. You guys know I am a huge fan of Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. I'm also a fan of Big Swole. I got to meet her back in February earlier this year at a independent show. Very cool. That's not the part that angers me. What angers me is this has been a storyline that AEW has been doing since February, since before this pandemic hit. And you mean to tell me, with everything that happened, the unfortunate injury that happened to Britt Baker, to the point where she needed a second surgery on her face with the broken nose that she suffered during her match with Sheeta. All of that, plus everything that they did to keep us entertained with this story. And you mean to tell me the best you can do is, we're going to put you in a cinematic match? Okay, I got no problem with that. Cinematic matches work during this era that we're all in with the pandemic. But not only that, we're going to give you a pre-show spot? Are you kidding me? When one of AEW's weakest points is their women's division, you have a storyline and a match that people want to see, and you're putting it on the pre-show. Please explain that to me. When I know Thunder Rosa and Sheeta is going to be a great match. I'll get to that later in the show. But seriously, a women's match that has a developing story that everyone has been intrigued by, and you're putting it on the pre-show. Please explain that logic to me. And also another thing. AEW's booked themselves into a corner here. Britt Baker's been a great heel. Even when she's been sidelined, she's been killing it with her promos, with the whole role model gimmick, calling herself the Michael Jordan of the AEW women's division. Big Swole is doing a pretty good job as a babyface. She's not the best worker, but she's pretty good on the mic. Okay, what do you do here? Like, you're pretty much booking yourself into a corner. Also, Jim Ross, way to put the segment over of like, oh my God, for the first time in 2 months, Britt Baker's up out of the wheelchair, and the great Jim Ross doesn't even have a holy cow, oh my God, that damn Jezebel's out of her chair type of moment. Really? Come on. They literally they're shooting themselves in the foot with the booking of this. I hope this cinematic match works. I really do. I find it ironic that AEW is doing another cinematic match so quickly. Because yes, I would call the Stadium Stampede a cinematic match because of all the cutscenes that they did. My heart says Britt Baker, but then again, she's the heel, and at this point, the babyface should finally get the win over the heel. But like I said, the way AEW's been booking this entire storyline is just confusing to me. So I'm going to just go with my girl, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, baby.
All right. Thank you very much for your takes, everybody. So not 100% sure if this is necessarily in the buy-in, but with how it's been in previous history, we'll just go with this being the second match of the show. It's the 21-man Casino Battle Royale match where the winner will earn a title shot for the AEW World Championship. There are 21 participants. We won't list them all. You can read them in the episode description. We're just going to kind of give our pick, and if you guys would like, feel free. There's a mystery opponent. One of the last ones probably going to be the 21st entrant if I were to take a wild guess. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on who you think will win, should win, and any guess on the random mystery entrant. Who would like to take this one first? Don't all go at once. EJV, go for it, man.
I'm going to go straight. I'm going to go and say real quick on the 21st person. I really don't have a guess, to be honest. because we have it seems like almost every town except for a select few are actually a part of this. I mean, I don't expect like a Serpentico or freaking Ryzen to be the 21st entrant. Because in the past with these Casino Battle Royals, that the 21st entrant has always been either a return, a debut. For example, in the first one, Hangman Page, who had a knee injury, came back. With the women's one, they did it all out last year. Mercedes Martinez showed up. So it's a tough call. I don't know about that. For my pick on who I want to win, of course, I'm going to go with the Murder Hawk monster himself, Lance Archer. To me, it seems like they've been putting him back on, because he's been on Dark defeating jobbers and independent people. To me, they'd be putting him back on the main show, and I think this is going to be the build for him to possibly get a future title shot again. And to me, this is going to be because after the defeat by Cody, I felt like that he had just been pushed down in the card too far, and I feel like that because it kind of almost devalued him. And we know Lance Archer and how big and bad and vicious he is, and how he could be in the ring. And I feel like he could be a great heel champion. I'm gonna pick him who I want to win. Who I think should win is different. I think he should win, and who I would kind of pick as like a dark horse pick. I'd pick absolute Ricky Starks. I think Ricky would. I think Ricky could win this and possibly bring home another championship to Team Taz. So my pick to possibly win this match would be Ricky Starks. My pick to win this match, in my heart, is going to be Lance Archer, because everybody dies.
Very nice. Who'd like to take this one next? Wildcard? Go for it, man.
Yeah, I gotta go. Just because I don't really have much to say about this. I mean, it should be a pretty entertaining match either way. Don't have a clue who this mystery opponent might be, because I mean, especially with limited traveling. I mean, I don't think it's anybody outside of the country that's going to be going to that could be the potential mystery opponent. I mean, the thing is, it's probably going to be somebody in house, because like I said, I can't think of anybody at the moment. But who I want to win in this, I want to say Darby Allin. I feel like that Darby Allin deserves at least another crack at that AEW title, because of how good he is. And I don't think people realize how good he is, or have forgotten how good he is, because I was actually watching some old Darby Allin matches, especially with his first one with Cody, way back when. And it reminded me of how good he was, and he could potentially be a top contender if booked properly. So I'm gonna say, for who I want to win, Darby Allin. Do I think he's gonna win? That's kind of a crapshoot. I don't think that's gonna be the case, but I mean, you never know. But who I think is gonna win, I'm gonna have to go with E on this. I'm gonna have to pick Lance Archer on this, because he is somebody who I feel like could benefit from winning this Battle Royal because of the way that he's been booked. I honestly thought he was going to be built up to be like this next monster for AEW, and then they basically turned the corner with him. This would be a nice way to give him a bounce back into the title scene. So, but yeah, I'm going to have to echo my colleague EJV on this and say Lance Archer is going to win this thing.
All right, Nico, would you like to go next?
Yeah, I utterly have no idea. And I frankly, the way AEW booked this Battle Royal, I felt like I was watching the Battle Royal on the Go Home episode of Dynamite. Because how long did that segment go for? Like almost 10 minutes? I mean, Jesus H. Christ. I want Darby Allin to win, but that kind of seems a little bit too obvious, because the last two times they've been hyping up the Battle Royal, everybody brawls. It's a big schmoz fest. Darby's music hits, the place pops. He fights Ricky Starks. They brawl, and then that's it. They've done that segment twice. They did that 2 or 3 weeks ago, like the first time Taz and Jake the Snake Roberts confronted each other on the mic, seeing how they're, the managers for their prospective clients. And then they did that again last night on Dynamite. So I'm just like, okay, what the hell? My heart says Darby. As for who the 21st person, I don't know. Maybe Pac. We haven't seen him. I know they got the travel restrictions, but maybe he found a way to get, back over to the States. I don't know. Don't really care. Whoever wins the Battle Royal, I don't see getting the AEW World Title anyways. I can talk more about that later, depending on what happens with Moxley and MJF. I'll get into that later in the night. Yeah, I guess I'll go with Darby.
Very nice. Yeah, I'm going back and forth. Again, it depends on how the title match goes. If the face wins or the heel wins, I'm going back and forth on that. I'll get more onto that when we get into the world title match. But right now, I was considering Eddie Kingston to be a winner because he's been on fire. I think he's great on the mic, great talent. But it might be a little too soon for him, honestly, after further thoughts. Darby Allin would be a good choice, too. But because, and again, I'm going to get into this later, I think the dynamic would be more interesting if the heel won. I'm going with Lance Archer. I'm going to echo Wildcard EJV as well. I think that he would be a great contender as a world title contender in the near future. Whether he wins the world title or not later on, that's to be determined. As far as the mystery opponent or mystery number 21, I'm going to, oh boy, yeah, there's a lot to choose. I'm going to go with them just using a legend. I think that maybe DDP will come out and be one of the contenders and go from there. But before we get into the next segment, I just want to say I do like this concept of the Casino Battle Royale. It's not just your standard Battle Royale. It has some Royal Rumble elements to it. I do like that the 21st person is the lucky contender to potentially win the match. I think it's a cool concept. I'm just going to leave it at that. So going into match number 3, this is a 4-on-4 match. The Dark Order members, leader, TNT champion Brodie Lee, along with Colt Cabana, Evil Uno, and Stu Grayson will be taking on Matt Cardona, Scorpio Sky, and the Natural Nightmares, Dustin Rhodes, and QT Marshall. Who would like to share their thoughts first on this match? Nico, go for it.
Yeah, I'll be quick. The Dark Order should win. I hope they do win. They are my pick to win, based on the fact that I appreciate. I guess I'll call the babyface team Cody's Super Friends. I appreciate them sticking up for their guy, but like, what's the point? It was just like, oh, okay, we'll fight the Dark Order, but yet the main guy you want to fight, nobody freaking touched. And Jesus, I don't know if we talked about this last week, but man, oh man, if Anna Jay would have put Brandy Rhodes in that rear naked choke in front of a live crowd, even a 10% live crowd, she would have got the biggest pop in AEW history. But I'm going to go with the Dark Order just because they need to win more. Yeah, I know they kind of have the momentum now that they have the TNT championship in their camp with Mr. Brodie Lee. But I just don't like the idea of the Super Friends basically all of a sudden, okay, we're going to fight these guys. Even though we just got our ass kicked by them, but whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Dark Order.
Wild card, go for it.
This match screams Dark Order all over it. It's quite intriguing to me to see how the Dark Order has progressed ever since Brodie Lee revealed himself as the Exalted One. I just didn't think that it was going to go well initially, but he's proven to helped the faction become what it is today. And I think with him winning the TNT title solidified their claim in the AEW locker room there. I mean, we'll see how this plays out, though, for the most part. I mean, I like the additions of Anna Jay and Colt Cabana and possibly even Tay Conti, pending her decision. So we'll see how that plays out. But I like the diverse group of wrestlers in that faction, making them a little bit more legitimate. And they've just had all this momentum, going into the weeks. And, I just don't really see any reason why they don't win this match. So, long story short, I'm picking the Dark Order for this.
EJV, your take.
Dark Order, no question about it. To me, I feel like storyline-wise, that makes the most sense. Especially after all of the members of the Nightmare family getting their asses beat, I don't see them getting a big 8-man tag victory so quickly in the storyline. That's just my opinion, because to me it makes the most sense. Plus, with like I said, Dark Order's been on a roll ever since Mr. Brodie Lee, procured the TNT Championship from Cody. So, I mean, for the momentum to continue going in their favor and to build the story further between the Nightmare family and the Dark Order, I see the Dark Order taking this pretty strongly. So, Dark Order for the victory.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the shutout, Dark Order. I mean, and also I'm going to throw this out. I think this could have been a pre-show match instead of Britt Baker and Big Swole, but I digress. Yeah, Cody's super friends, as Nico says. Yeah, I just don't see any reason for them to win. Brodie Lee is giving the Dark Order some elevation by being the TNT champion. He's been a great leader, in my opinion. Interesting going from a group follower to a leader in AEW. I do like the dynamic of Colt Cabana, Anna Jay being in the group. I'm not 100% the biggest Dark Order fan, but they do have their days where I do enjoy them. But there's really not much else I could say. Dark Order to win this one to continue their dominance within AEW. Nico, you wanted to say something before we go to the next match?
Yeah, real quick. I mean, unless they're gonna have Cody somehow show up during the match to exact some sort of revenge on Mr. Brodie Lee and the Dark Order, that would be cool to me. That would be okay. That would make sense, actually. Although I agree, this is the match that should be on the pre-show. And I think it would be pretty ballsy if Cody, I know he's venturing out to another project right now in TV, but I think it would be pretty ballsy on him in a good way if he actually missed the pay-per-view. But maybe from an on-screen talent perspective, but maybe he'll do a run-in of some sort during the match. So, but other than that, I agree with what you were saying, Steve-O. This match should have been on the pre-show and not the match between Dr. Britt Baker and Big Swole.
Fair analysis. We'll see. My understanding is Cody might be filming something where he does need that extended time off, but we can talk about that at another time. Next match, and I'm just going to throw it out right here. I think this could have been a pre-show match instead. Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy, and Luchasaurus taking on the Young Bucks. So just a quick little background about the match. The match was made on Dynamite in an 8-man tag match with the teams of Jurassic Express and the Young Bucks defeating Private Party and SCU. The winners got to have a tag team match. So that's kind of the story behind this match. So who's your guys' take, the Bucks or Jurassic Express? Who'd like to go first? All right, Nico?
Yeah, Young Bucks. I guess they're going heel now, or they're being a little bit more aggressive. I knew this match would be on the main card, mainly because AEW's trying to promote tag team wrestling. That's like one of their big things. So I'm hoping the Young Bucks finally win and actually book themselves to go over. I mean, they are heels now apparently. As of last week, they just all of a sudden decided to kicking out Hangman was also the thing that just made them turn heel. But okay, I digress. Young Bucks need it more. They're my pick to win.
All right, who'd like to go next on this one? EJV.
Yeah, Young Bucks. Reason being, like my compadre Nico said, they need the victory more. They've been kind of off and on with their wins and losses, especially you can see that in their record. To me, and especially with the way they've been more aggressive lately, especially with them, like Nico said, kicking out Hangman Page out of the Elite. And it just seems like they're turning that corner along with their other compadre, Kenny Omega, which we'll talk about later in the show. But to me, I love this aggressive edge that the Bucks are showing, and I think it's really going to come out in this match and really going to show what they're going to do to win this match tonight, against Jurassic Express. And them two teams are going to put on a hell of a match. It's going to be a great match. I agree, though. This is another match that could be on the pre-show maybe, but it's a Young Bucks match nonetheless on the main card of a pay-per-view. So I'm going to go with the Young Bucks to win this because they need this victory more than ever with the way they seem like they're turning heel.
Very nice, EJV. How about you, Wildcard? What's your take?
Very, very short. Young Bucks. That's it right there.
Very nice. Yeah, I'm not going to be too long either. I have no doubt in mind this match would be awesome. All four are great individuals. I expect it to be a very fun match. I don't like the build-up to the match. I think it's kind of a hodgepodge of stuff, but that could be talked about later. So, yeah, in short, Young Bucks wins. Just kind of establish themselves more. They put over many talents while in AEW. They got the Private Party over pretty big, so I think it's time they win a couple matches of their own. So, going on to the next match, it's an interesting bout. It's a broken match. And if Matt Hardy loses, he is leaving AEW. So Matt Hardy will be taking on Sammy Guevara in a broken match. Who would like to start this one off? EJV, go for it.
Now, this is the problem that I have with this pay-per-view. It's just there's too many gimmick matches. And that's something I discussed with you guys before we started the recording of this of the show. There are too many gimmick matches on this card. And that's, I understand they're trying to build these stories in interesting ways to keep the viewer onto the program. But to me, I feel like it's just a little bit too much. With that being said, Matt Hardy, Sammy Guevara, with the whole thing with the chair, I thought this has been an actually interesting feud because of how violent it's gotten with the whole chair to the face situation with Matt Hardy getting concussed and getting badly cut. And then just trying to get rid of Sammy out of wrestling, period, because of him being so irresponsible. Matt Hardy, I don't know if Matt Hardy's going to show up or if Damascus is going to show up because this is a broken rules match. That's going to be interesting to see what happens there. I think Matt is going to win this, but still get Sammy over. I think Sammy still, because remember the old adage, you don't have to go over to get over. And I feel like if Sammy can get over, even with Matt still winning the match. But if Matt wins, maybe Matt comes in as his old character, maybe comes in just as Matthew Hardy, loses the match, disappears from AEW for a while, comes back as broken Matt Hardy now that we got a crowd back in there. Maybe he could reintroduce it and capture that quote-unquote lightning in the bottle again, like he had when he first brought it into Impact. So I'm gonna go with Matt Hardy because I think, like I said, it would help get Sammy. He could help get Sammy over without Sammy actually going over, and it could make the most sense. But then again, it's kind of a toss-up. But I'm gonna go with Matt Hardy.
Very nice. Who would like to go on this one next?
I'll take this one.
Go for a wild card.
So this one could be a very fun match to watch, just based on the rivalry between the two. The violent rivalry, really. I mean, you'd think that this is going to be a friendly rivalry. No, it is not by any means necessary. Especially if you've been seeing all the stuff that they've been doing. My question is, which Matt Hardy is going to be showing up here? So I'm just kind of wondering, that may be the X factor into the match going into All Out. Is who are we going to be seeing here? Are we seeing regular Matt Hardy? Are we going to see Team Extreme Matt Hardy? Are we going to see Broken Matt Hardy? I mean, that's kind of a mystery right now. But I feel like that this is going to be a good match for Sammy Guevara, just to help build his stock, in a way rebuild his stock after his suspension, because we all know how good he is and how talented he is. I mean, he's basically the future of AEW, the way I see it, just the way that he's being groomed right now. But I feel like that unless that there is any reason for Matt Hardy to leave AEW, I just don't see him losing this match. So I think that I feel like that that Hardy's going to take the win either way, whoever he shows up as, and that they're going to end up continuing on this ongoing feud for quite some time.
Very nice wild card, Nico. What's your take for Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara?
To my colleague E, who said the old adage, you don't have to go over to get over. In this case, I think that's wrong. I think Sammy needs to win more. Obviously, I know in the stipulation they say, oh, if Matt loses, he's gone. There isn't anything right now that I don't think Matt Hardy could do. Yes, we know Matt Hardy is one of the best minds in the business, but from a performance standpoint, do we really want to see Matt Hardy right now on TV? Do we really want to see him change his gimmick to 3 to 5 different things every other week? Whether it's Broken Matt Hardy, whether it's Woken, whether it's Damascus, whether it's Boy Band Matt Hardy, I don't fucking know. Whether it's Billionaire Matt, where he's an arrogant, cocky son of a bitch with his wife on the piano, I have no freaking idea. I think Sammy needs it more, though, just because of everything that's going on with his character. I know he's in the inner circle, but still, if you're going to present a guy as, oh, this is one of the future stars of our company here, give them a win every now and then, for Christ's sake. For the record, I know what happened with the chair thing. That wasn't necessarily Sammy's fault. That was more of AEW's production teams. I put the blame on them, but it turned out to be a happy accident because they ended up using it for the story. But again, I fully expect Matt Hardy to win this match, but I think Sammy deserves it. Give the kid some momentum. I know he's young. I know he's going to be in AEW for a while, but give him something so me as the viewer, I can say, okay, Sammy Guevara beat Matt Hardy in a broken rules match, whatever that is. I guess it's just going to be a hardcore match. Fine. But it's like, okay, Sammy Guevara beat Matt Hardy, somebody from Team Extreme, in a broken rules match. Thank you. Now I believe in this kid. Okay, I'm done.
All right. So I am kind of in agreement with you there, Nico, of, I think Sammy could use the win a little more, if we're being honest, because he's going to be the future of AEW. While you're all chatting, I was looking up old backyard wrestling names that Matt went by, like High Voltage, Surge, things like that. Kind of like, you remember when Jeff Hardy in Impact Wrestling went to being Willow? I was thinking, okay, maybe if Sammy does win, maybe he can revert to one of those gimmicks. That way, Matthew Hardy, etc., isn't being used. I was thinking, okay, maybe they could do that. That's really the only legitimate way I could see this happening. I don't know exactly what this broken match does entail, but they've been taking stiff shots at each other. I really like that. I'm hoping that we could see some more violence within there. EJB, go ahead.
I just wanted to give you what the Broken Rules match actually is. It's basically is a last man standing match. So basically, after answer 10 count, if you don't, you lose. So that's what it is. It's basically hardcore last man standing match. If Matt loses, he leaves AEW.
Okay, that's fair. Thank you very much. So yeah, honestly, with those rules and just trying to think of a way that Matt can, lose this match but not be out of AEW unless there's some personal circumstances we don't know of at this time. I'm just gonna go with Matt Hardy to win because I just can't see any way he's gonna actually leave AEW at this time, not so soon at least. So we're gonna go on to the next match, another wacky match here. You guys have been get some drinks out for this match. It's the Mimosa Mayhem match with Chris Jericho versus Orange Cassidy and some Too Sweet face-off stats. 90% of you want Orange Cassidy to win their third match, the rubber match. You all want Orange Cassidy to win this. Meanwhile, 10% want Chris Jericho. So now that being said, who do you guys want to win the rubber match? Let's hear your thoughts. EJB, go for it.
Oh man, a match that can only come from the mind of the demo god Chris Jericho, Mimosa Mayhem. This is going to be interesting because the whole concept basically is to beat your opponent and throw him into a 500-gallon container of mimosa, which is insane. Apparently Jericho got that. Quick note: Jericho got that from apparently watching some old exploding barbed wire time bomb death matches from FMW in Japan. That's where he got the idea from. As far as the match goes itself, it's going to be entertaining. It's going to be maybe a little wacky, but I think it's going to be more physical than we realize because of how physical Orange Cassidy has become with this feud. If we saw what happened last night on Dynamite with Jericho smearing the blood of Joey Janela on the Orange Cassidy shirt he was wearing, which triggered Orange Cassidy to get in there and just start beating the hell out of Jericho. So to me, I don't think Orange is going to play around too much in this match. I think it's going to be straightforward, physical, all-out assault from him. I think it's going to be a lot more just violent than we actually realized. But of course, it is gimmicky, like we figured it would be, with Orange Cassidy. But it's a tough one. But I'm actually going to go with Jericho. The reason being, I know Orange, it would build Orange to get that second victory over Jericho, but this is another one of those things where you don't have to go over to get you have to go over to get over. That's another one of these things where Orange Cassidy does not need to win this match to have his stock built up even higher when you're wrestling with one of the greatest of all time and a future Hall of Famer. So to me, I'm going to go with Chris Jericho to win this match and dunk Orange Cassidy into that mixture of orange juice and a little bit of the bubbly.
All right, who'd like the wild card? Go for it.
Wow, I was just chuckling over the fact the gimmickness of this match. It just plays so well with Jericho and Orange Cassidy. I mean, a Mimosa Mayhem match. And when I first heard about this, I'm just like, what the hell are they going to do? And then when I found out exactly what it was, I'm just like, wow, this is going to be chaotic. It's going to be gimmicky. It's going to be, like you said, wacky. But I think it's going to be a good match, too, because, the talent that each of these guys, Orange Cassidy and Chris Jericho, of course, they possess. And the thing about this match is that I kind of feel like this feud is a way to rise Orange Cassidy's stock up. Much like I said with Sammy Guevara, I feel like Orange Cassidy is under that umbrella of AEW's future. Because we talk about Cody, we talk about the Young Bucks, we talk about Jon Moxley, we talk about Chris Jericho. How about talking about the younger talent on this roster? I mean, we talked about Darby Allin, we talked Sammy Guevara. We talk like even tag teams like Private Party, and we talk about like the Dark Order. These are, and Orange Cassidy too, best friends. These are guys that if AEW, if they're going to have any kind of success, they are going to have to be a part of it. They're going to have to be a huge part of that success. And Orange Cassidy, with the talent that he possesses, has the possibility of being a top guy with what he can do in the ring and what he can do against Le Champion, Chris Jericho. And what I really love about this is that, Jericho is one of those guys who I feel like when he sees good talent, he's going to find some way to put him over, whether he wins the match or not. So honestly, I want Orange Cassidy to win this match. And you know what? I think he is going to win this match. I think that he's going to end up throwing Jericho into that big-ass puddle pool of mimosa, whatever it is that they're going to throw him into. But I'm going to say Orange Cassidy for the win here.
All right, Nico, let's hear your thoughts on this Orange Mimosa Madness match.
Yeah, I feel like I'm at my house waking up on New Year's Day because at our annual party, we end up drinking mimosas the next day with our breakfast and our brunch when everybody wakes up. And then we continue the party. So when I first heard that, I was like, oh my God, am I at my house on New Year's? Like, what the hell? But yeah, it's pretty gimmicky, but it makes sense with these two right now, what they're doing with the story. I fully expect Orange Cassidy to win this match, and I don't have a problem with that. You guys know how I feel about Orange Cassidy. I like the guy. I just don't like the gimmick that much. I get it. You're cool. You're laid back. You're chill. I am too, especially after the occasional edible. I get it, bro. But here's what I want from you. This is a big-time match. No. This is a big-time match for you, OC. You're going against Chris Jericho, like it or not. That's the biggest name AEW has. This is the third match in the series of matches. The first two actually were not that bad. They were actually pretty decent. But give me something a little more. Let this be like, oh my God, this is my make or break moment to be a top star. So kind of piggyback off of what my colleague Andy said. Let's start thinking about the future of AEW. I agree with that. But keep in mind, with the average wrestling fans today don't have that much of a long attention span. So what I mean by that is for Orange Cassidy, give me something to make me say, ooh, holy shit, I want to see that guy every single week. If you can just give me a little bit more of aggression. I know he's doing it a little bit, but yet still when he goes to do his moves, like his basic moveset, other than the Superman punch, his hands are always in his pockets. Give me something that makes me say after this match, whether Orange Cassidy wins or loses, I think he will win, but give me something that says, wow, okay, I really want to see Orange Cassidy fight for the world title. I want to see Orange Cassidy fight for the TNT Championship. I want to see Orange Cassidy versus that guy or that guy. Just give me something that makes me say, okay, I want to see more of Orange Cassidy, because right now, I don't care about Orange Cassidy. I know he's over with the majority of the AEW fan base, but I'm saying in the long run, if we're thinking about the future of AEW, because most of today's wrestling fans have a short attention span, give me something that makes me say, okay, I continuously want to see Orange Cassidy every single week.
Fair points all around there, Nico. And, I'm somewhat in agreement with you. I do like the guy. I think he's very funny. There's a difference, though, between putting a guy you think is funny into the main event versus someone that you think actually deserves to. Not to say he doesn't, but I mean, yeah, I do need to see a little more of something just to say, okay, this guy is the next AEW World Champion or even TNT Champion for that matter. I think he's a very funny guy, very talented, but yeah, just gonna need to see a little more of that. And let me just throw out to you, if I was in this Mimosa Mayhem match, I'd probably lose just because I would jump in the Mimosa before the match even starts. But I digress. So, you know what? I'm gonna agree with you guys. They need to make the future of AEW, and for that reason, I will pick Orange Cassidy to win this match just because I think they want to elevate the star and kind of make up for that last ending he had where, they kind of cut it off super fast for TV time or whatever you will. I think they want to give him a much more celebrated ending. I'm kind of over this feud, honestly, but I am cool if Orange Cassidy wins. But there is something I did consider. I'm sticking with that as my final thought, mind you, but this match can actually be won by pinfall, submission, or going into the mimosas. So there could be an option where Jericho either pins Orange or makes him submit to the walls of Jericho, if you will. But Orange Cassidy gets the best at the end of the match and ends up throwing Jericho into the mimosa after the match is done. I could see that being one potential option. But I'm still going Orange Cassidy to win this Mimosa Mayhem match. Yeah, Nico.
Hold on. Wait. Pinfall or submission is a stipulation in this match?
That is correct. You don't have to. You if that changes your guys' minds, I just want to.
Oh God,
three ways to win.
That's just stupid. Just throw the fucking guy into the mimosa and call it a day. That's what everyone's going to want to see anyways. No one's going to care if Jericho makes Orange Cassidy tap with the walls of Jericho or if Orange Cassidy knocks out Jericho with a Superman punch. We already seen that. No one's going to care. Just throw them into the mimosa. That's what everybody wants. Jesus. Why is AEW overcomplicating things? Look, I'm going to say this right now, and I don't care what you guys say. AEW books like WWE. They are not any different. And adding this stupid stipulation because it's an out that AEW doesn't need, proves it. Okay? So don't tell me, AEW is an alternative to WWE. Look at the matches on this card. I know he's laughing his ass off because I sound like a certain somebody, but you know I'm right. Look at the matches on this card and tell me we wouldn't generally see this on a typical Monday Night Raw or a SmackDown or a WWE pay-per-view. Yes or no?
I can agree, and I'll kind of give that into my overall rating of the show, and I'll talk a little bit about WWE with AEW being like with WWE booking in the main event match, but I'll save it for that once we get to that. You guys have anything else to add on this, or are you ready for the next match? All right.
I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, let's get to the next match. We have 3 more matches, mind you. It's a pretty lengthy card. So the next one is the tag team championship bout. Longtime champs Kenny Omega and Adam Hangman Page taking on FTR with Tully Blanchard for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. 2 sweet face-off stats. 65% of you want FTR to win this match. Meanwhile, 35% of you want Omega and Page to retain. What's your guys' take? You want new champs, or do you want the streak to continue? And Nico, you want to go first? All right, go for it, man.
At this point, before last night, before the go home show of Dynamite, I was saying, okay, we should get new champs. Hangman Page should just say, F it. Both him and Kenny Omega are more over, and they're better at single stars anyways. I know they've been pretty good as a tag team. I was happy when they won the tag titles on the Jericho Cruise because I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But at this point, I kind of feel like it's overrun its course. They practically ran through every tag team in the division, which is another weird booking thing that AEW does. But I digress. But now after watching Dynamite, I just don't know. Like, you feel like Hangman and both Kenny are going opposite of what the Elite is doing. If you pay attention to being the Elite, you know what I'm talking about. It almost seems like it's a foregone conclusion that FTR would usually win the titles, but maybe that's a little too obvious. I'm going to go with the champs retaining just because if they don't, I'll be happily surprised. So that's my call.
Very nice. Wild card, you're next.
I'm gonna say FTR for this match, just because of the drama and the situation that is going on between Hangman and Kenny. I don't know if you guys watched the last Being the Elite episode, but they showed a little teaser of a potentially a return of an old favorite. I'm talking about a clean favorite. If you get my drift there, but especially with the whole thing with Hangman, which I still don't really understand what the hell he was doing. When he cost the Bucks the match, it's very intriguing. Sad to see him out of the Elite, but this adds on to the storyline. As much as I like them as tag team champions, and I thought they were great as tag team champions, I think it's time that they passed along the titles to a worthy tag team. And being that All Out is one of their big pay-per-views, there's usually bound to be at least one title change. And why not be this? Why not have FTR win the tag team titles and potentially set up a match between them and the Young Bucks? I'm just saying.
Very nice. Wild card, EJV, your pick for this tag team title bout.
It's a tough one. It really is, because just like Nico said, this is really a toss-up. It could go either way because of whether it's building FTR to be these ex-champions and to continue the storyline with Kenny and Hangman, or whether it be to keep it on the champs and maybe further build the dissension between the Elite and Hangman. That could be an option. I'm going to go in like Nico said, if FTR wins the titles, I will be surprised because of how dominant Kenny and Hangman have been despite their personal issues in the storyline. I'm going to go with FTR to win, only because of the like what Andy said, the tease on BTE of that former IWGP heavyweight champion who once helped kick Adam Cole out of the Bullet Club. Rest in peace, Adam Cole. I think it's time for Kenny and Hangman to kind of split and to go their separate ways. Because we talk about the future. You talk about the Darby Allins. We talk about the Ricky Starks. We talk about those guys. Hangman. Hangman is the future of AEW. Look what they did when the first company first started. They put him in a world title match against Chris Jericho. That's how much faith they had in Hangman Page. So to me, I think FTR is going to win the titles. It's going to cause either Kenny's going to go full heel and leave Hangman there, or we're going to see, or Hangman's going to make a mistake and cost them the titles. But FTR to win the titles. Top guys out.
Very nice. Yeah. I'm sure that people are going to be upset if FTR win because they're another former WWE guys, but who cares? They're an awesome team. They're great. A lot of people have been waiting for them to finally come to AEW so they can have various awesome feuds, and this one shouldn't be anything short of a great match. I did enjoy Hangman, Adam Page, and Kenny Omega as tag team champions. They've had some very lit tag team matches. Despite being more of singles guys, they've been putting things on fire. So, but that's being said, with the hints of the splits coming, Young Bucks at odds with Hangman, Adam Page, the Being the Elite stuff. I just think that time is running out for these two as tag team champions. So simply put, FTR is going to win, and I think they're going to put on a great tag team title run finally within AEW. We're going to have a legitimate tag team go on and, be the tag team champions. So going on to the next match, it's going to be for the women's championship. Hikaru Shida, the champion of AEW, will be taking on Thunder Rosa, a champion of NWA. And some quick Too Sweet face-off stats. The vote was very small for this, but 100% of you want Hikaru Shida to retain her title to Thunder Rosa. So what do you guys think? Are you with the Too Sweet Cosplay Nation, or are you guys have some difference of opinions? I'd like to hear your thoughts. Nico, go for it.
While Thunder Rosa is better for the American style of pro wrestling and the American audience, she proved it last night on Dynamite, because her and Serena D from WWE, former Straight Edge Society member, and Punk We Trust, anyway, they probably had the best technical women's wrestling match that AEW's had since its creation. I mean, they locked up. They went into a straight up lockup right from the bell, and they put on a wrestling match, and it got the story over for this match on Saturday. But here's the thing that pissed me off: where the fuck was Shida? I'm sorry. We're supposed to believe that, okay, the great Hikaru Shida has ran through everybody in AEW in a matter of, let's see, she won the title back at Double or Nothing. That was back in late May, June, July, August, September. In the span of 3.5 months, because we're just getting into September here. She's ran through everybody, so they got to go get somebody from another promotion in NWA, which is great, mind you, because I love cross promotions. I love it with DC Comics. I love it with Marvel Comics. I love it when they did Smart Guy and Sister Sister in the 90s. Ta-da! But here we go. You mean to tell me, okay, now that she has to fight somebody from a different promotion, but yet you're not going to show your champion on the go-home show leading up to the pay-per-view? The most we've seen your champion is in a pre-recorded contract signing segment where the camera was focused more on the hotel bathroom than what was going on with the contract signing. Jesus, AEW is just booking their women's division so horribly. I fully expect Hikaru Shida to win, because why would they have their girl lose? That makes zero sense. But I just want to talk about the fact that we got an AEW NWA partnership. Please, I want to see my girl, Sienna or Allison Kay or whatever you want to call her. I finally want to see a third match between Nick Aldis and Cody Rhodes, for Christ's sake. So I'm loving this partnership between AEW and NWA. Thank you, Tony Khan. Thank you, Billy Corgan. Thank you, everybody involved who made it happen. I love it. But I fully expect Hikaru Shida to win. I'm hoping it's a good match. I mean, I know Thunder Rosa can go, but I'm hoping Hikaru Shida can be able to go that style as well.
I'll go ahead and take it from here. For me, this is going to be a great match. I think it will be, because, I mean, it's two differentiating styles. You got the more Japanese strong style of Hikaru Shida, and you got that American style, submission style of Thunder Rosa. And when it was announced that Thunder Rosa was coming to AEW, I marked out. I will admit that, because I'm a huge fan of Thunder Rosa. I watched NWA Power virtually every week it came on YouTube, and I was a huge, huge fan of Thunder Rosa. So I can't wait to see what happens in this match. And she proved that she is ready for this match against Shida when her and Serena Deeb had that awesome technical match on Dynamite. I thought that was phenomenal. They, like I said, went straight into straight into a lockup, and then it just went full submission game, different holds, and I thought it was a great match. But long story short, I expect Hikaru Shida to win just because it makes the most sense right now with this partnership being brand new. I don't expect Thunder Rosa to win the title, so Hikaru Shida to retain the AEW Women's World Title.
Very nice. Wild card, who's your pick for this bout?
I'm going to pick Hikaru Shida on this, just because I feel like she's been a really good AEW Women's Champion. Thunder Rosa, very impressed with what she can do. So I really think that's a nice addition to the AEW Women's Division. She might be the star power that they could potentially need, because I feel like they're still lacking in that department. But I think having a match with Shida for the women's title is going to be a nice way to showcase what she can do. I do think that maybe a little bit too early for her to win the title right away. So I'm going to end up just saying that Shida's going to end up retaining, but they're going to put a rock-solid match on.
Likewise, I'll second you and say that I think Hikaru Shida will retain. Am I opposed to Thunder Rosa being a new champion? No, absolutely not. She definitely put on a hell of a match with Serena Deeb on this past edition of AEW Dynamite. I thought it was great. I'm not familiar too much with her. I never watched NWA Power, although I hear very great things about it. So I was impressed with her. However, I've been impressed with Shida as champion. I do think it is ridiculous that she wasn't on Dynamite going into a go-home show for the AEW All Out. I think the booking could have been a little better for that show as a whole, but this feud should be very solid. I think this could be a great match. I hope Thunder Rosa does stick around after this, but for now, I think that Hikaru Shida will retain the women's championship. So, last but not least, it's time for the main event. Time for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship match with Jon Moxley, the champion, defending against MJF alongside Wardlow. And before we get into our predictions, here's our final Too Sweet face-off stat. 69% of the vote wants Jon Moxley to retain the AEW Championship. Meanwhile, 31% of you want MJF as your new champion. What do you guys think? Is it time for a new champion, or will Jon Moxley continue his reign within AEW? Share your thoughts and let us know who you want to win and who you think will win this match. Nico, you want to go?
First of all, I pray to God and to our viewers at home, to whatever God you believe in, I pray that you pray to that God that this match is actually the freaking main event. And by main event, I mean the last match of the night. It's been about, 6 months? That's usually when AEW does the world title changes, apparently, because, Jericho won the AEW world title originally back at All Out last year, kept it till February, so maybe Mox drops it again. I think Jericho should have been champion for an entire year. That's just me. I think that would have been better for the company overall. Obviously, Jericho was originally planning on leaving before this pandemic changed everything to go on tour, but then the pandemic hit, and that changed everything. So, AEW's kind of booked themselves into a corner here, because MJF's the best thing that company's got going, like it or not. You guys know I've had my run-ins with Maxwell. Not the nicest guy in the world, but I'm a fan, and I think he deserves to be the AEW World Champion. I think he could be the World Champion right now, and he's only 23, 24 years old. But Moxley did just get called the best wrestler in the world from PWI. Maybe that plays a factor into it. The go home segment last night on Dynamite was actually done really well. So maybe that, because they got sympathy on the babyface and Moxley, maybe he goes over. I don't know. I'm gonna go Moxley retains just because, but maybe it's some type of schmozzy finish that makes MJF look strong, because Moxley cannot beat MJF clean. In no way, shape, or form. I don't care if he can't use the paradigm shift, Something has to happen to where if Moxley does win and he does retain, you got to make MJF look strong, because that guy is the future of not only AEW, but he's the future of the wrestling business for the next 15, 25 years. So, with that being said, I fully expect Moxley to win and retain, but maybe they could do something to where if he does drop the belt, it doesn't make him look weak, because, I mean, if he does drop the belt, then it's like, okay, he was just named the best wrestler in the world. You mean to tell me now he loses the title? But I digress, but we'll wait and see. All I want out of this entire match, regardless of who wins, is make this the damn main event. Please don't make the Mimosa Mayhem match the last match of the night. Put your world title on last, people. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you, Nico. Who wants to go next? Wildcard, BJV.
You go ahead, E.
All right. This is another hard one because it's like Nico said. It's tough because we got a guy who was just named the number one wrestler in the world by the PWI 500 versus the future of this business. And of course, with the stipulation, Mox can't use the paradigm shift in this match. That's a big factor. But the biggest factor in the match is not any one of those two competitors. It's Wardlow. We know that Wardlow will be by MJF's side, and you know that he's going to be carrying the weapon that MJF used to bust open Mox on Dynamite, that Dynamite doesn't ring. So you know that's going to come into play during this match. And overall, booking-wise, I wouldn't be surprised if MJF walked out with the championship. I wouldn't be, because of how good that guy is. He's wise beyond his years with just his promo work, his in-ring ability, and the way he's so smart in the ring too. With the fact that he doesn't do no flashy maneuvers. He doesn't do no dives and moonsaults and 450s. The guy just is a typical heel wrestler. Thumb to the eye, low blow whenever he can. Weapon usage when the ref's back is turned. He's the prototypical heel, an old school heel, and that's what the way he should be, and that's going to play a factor in this match. I mean, I could see Mox retaining this belt easily and forwarding his reign, but the only problem is if we got, like Nico said, we got the plan should be to find a way to make MJF look strong if Mox retains. There's got to be a way to figure out how to do that. I'm going to go with Mox to retain, but I wouldn't be surprised if MJF walks out with the title. And one other thing, with the paradigm shift ban, maybe there's an old move that Mox could revert to that he used maybe in his early years. We'll have to wait and see at All Out.
Very nice. Wild card. What's your take on this main event?
Well, this is going to echo essentially what I had mentioned earlier about AEW's future. And I think that MJF is actually a part of that future there too, because he's really homegrown talent right there. And honestly, since the AEW's world title, since its arrival on the scene, we've had Jericho as champion, and we've also had Moxley right now as his champion. Two former WWE guys. Wouldn't be a bad idea to put the belt on an AEW homegrown guy to really get things started. Who better than one of the best heels in the business right now? Who better than one of the best heels in AEW, in my opinion, especially with MJF. I mean, his promos has just been on point. I mean, he has brought his game to a main event level, really. And I'm excited to see what he can do in an actual title match against Jon Moxley, who I don't doubt is not going to lie down for Mr. MJF there for Maxwell Jacob Friedman. You know, I think that Moxley, as we all know, has been known to amp up the level of violence in this match. And how he's going to win, I don't know. But I think he's going to bring another level of violence to this match. And I just hope that MJF has good health insurance, because I feel like that Moxley's going to beat the holy hell out of this guy this upcoming Saturday. But as for my pick, I don't know. I really don't know, honestly, because as much as I want to say Jon Moxley, I could potentially see MJF walk out as the new AEW champion. So it can go either way. So I'm undecided on this with you guys.
All right, so before we close out the show, I'll give my thoughts on who I think will win. So going into the show, I was pretty dead set that MJF was going to become a new champion. I have been enjoying this feud. I like MJF's aspirations for a better AEW, if you will. Yeah, you hear a lot of stories about that guy on the internet. You can see one of them on YouTube with Nico. So yeah, lots of negative stories about the guy. He plays a real life heel, and yeah, he definitely is a guy that stands out in AEW, and I think he is definitely a top heel in the future of the company. But yeah, and they do really need to continue building up the future, as everyone says. However, I have a sinking suspicion, especially with the whole Moxley in the number one in the top 500 for PWI. I have a feeling that he is going to retain. I mean, I think that something's going to happen where I'm really trying hard to think how I could foresee the outcome. I don't think it's going to be a straight up clean win. I mean, the last two big world title victories with Moxley, like he made Brodie Lee tap out, and then pass out, excuse me, and then with the whole match with Brian Cage, Taz had to throw in the towel. So, I mean, he hasn't had clear-cut victories as champion, at least for a couple of those bouts. So I could see something similar happening in that vein. Hell, maybe even Wardlow will do something that accidentally he knocks out MJF, and that may be how Moxley winds up retaining. We will see. I'm not opposed to MJF winning the title. I think that would be fantastic, and I think that they do need someone that isn't a former WWE guy. Just some new blood of being their next champion, some way, somehow. But I'm just going to go with Jon Moxley to retain for now. So before we close the show out, from a 1 to 10 scale, what's your excitement level for this AEW pay-per-view? Who would like to go first? EJB.
For this, I'm going to give this an 8. I am very excited for this card. It's a very strong card to me. Kind of one of the stronger AEW cards in a while. It's going to be a great show. To me, I'm excited for a lot of these matches, especially Cheetah Thunder Rosa, which is one of my. I can't wait for that. I can't wait for to see what's going to happen with the whole Mimosa Mayhem match. I can't wait to see what's going to happen with the Broken match. And then, of course, the AEW World title match, which I've been invested in since the very beginning with Mox and MJF. So I'm going to give this one an 8.
Very nice. Who would like to give their rating next? Wildcard?
Pretty excited about this. I think that All Out is definitely a favorite amongst all of us here at Too Sweet Cosplay. For various reasons. But, it's unfortunate that All Out couldn't be in the Chicago area due to obvious reasons. But, the show is still going on. It's still a solid card. And I'm going to give it an 8.5 on this one here. I'm going to be a little bit precise about this. 8.5 out of 10 with this.
Very nice. Nico, what's your rating 1 to 10?
let me, Steve, we'll go ahead because right now there's some background noise that I'm trying to drown out. So go ahead and then I'll go.
Okay, that's fine. So I was almost giving it a 6 with these filler matches. However, after this further discussion, it was bumping up to a 6.5, but screw it, I'm bumping it to a 7. I think that the good outweighs the bad. You know, while we could potentially so I mean we can question some of the placement of the matches, like the pre-show card and all that stuff. The title matches all look great. The world title match, the women's title match, the tag team title match, those are all very solid. And even the whole Chris Jericho versus Orange Cassidy, I think we got a solid bout in the making there. And I think that, you know, we have yet to see a bad AEW show, pay-per-view wise at least. So I think that it will deliver. I'm going with a 7 out of 10 for now. Nico, are you ready with your final analysis?
Yeah, it's somewhat quiet. To echo your point, we haven't really had a bad AEW show, but in regards to this, with the booking of everything, my excitement level, I'd say I'm at a 4. Yeah, I know that's pretty low, but like, there's nothing that I really want to see. Like, the Britt Baker Big Swole match, I'm getting for free on the buy-in. Okay, cool. Thanks. Moxley and MJF, yeah, I want to see how that goes. Thunder Rosa and Karushida, that'll be cool, but I fully expect Karushida to win. Everything else is kind of just like, okay, if, Hangman and Kenny Omega drop the tag belts, cool. If they don't, cool. I don't really need to see the Young Bucks be a heel against Jurassic Express because I fully expect them to win. Okay, that's fine. I love the Bucks. Like I said, every other match that we've gone through, I've kind of given my reasons of who I think should win and why. The Battle Royale match that they're going to end up doing is going to be fine. It's going to be punch, kick, struggle in the corner, throw them over the top rope. But yeah, I'm at a 4, honestly.
Fair enough. Very interesting analyses from all of you guys. And thank you for watching this Too Sweet Cosplay predictions video for AEW All Out 2020. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and be sure to subscribe to the Too Sweet Cosplay channel. And if you haven't done so already, please follow us at Too Sweet Cosplay on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And also be sure to post your own opinions and picks on the AEW matches at All Out. And let us know who you think might be the surprise entrant in number 21 for the AEW Casino Battle Royale as well. Thank you all for watching. Enjoy AEW All Out this weekend. Too sweet, y'all.